Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. We're right off the bat on the old show today. Remember when we teased that brand new Lexus machine? Well, here it is. The Lexus LF C2 concept made its official debut at the LA Motor Show. One of the things you'll see right off the bat is this is a 2+2, as Lexus really didn't release any more information about this machine other than its roadster, which meaning it doesn't have a roof in any way, shape, or form. Which means you really couldn't ever make this go into production, even though they could probably fix this in post and put it out to the world. But a lot of the new design language that'll be going into all new Lexuses coming soon is shown off in this particular machine. Another vehicle in the same vein as that is this, the brand new Audi Prologue concept. Gorgeous looking coupe, large coupe. But this vehicle probably will never see the light of the day when it comes to production. Even though, fingers crossed, we'll get to see it anyway. But if you look at a lot of the design language that's going on inside this machine, including the new grille and headlights and some other parts and pieces that will be making their debuts in other Audi products heading very soon. A vehicle that is going into production for the folks over at Audi is this particular machine. This is the brand new Audi A7 H-Tron, the H standing for hydrogen, as the folks over at Audi are throwing their hat in the ring as far as building a hydrogen-powered vehicle. Now, this isn't the first time we've ever seen a hydrogen-powered vehicle, as the folks over at Honda had the Clarity vehicle that's actually been out for, 3 or 4 years now, even though it's rumored that Honda's got $1 million in each one of these machines. And yet they only lease the machines because you can never sell a machine for that much money. But Honda actually showed off at the LA Motor Show too. This particular machine, the replacement apparently for that particular machine, it's just still called the FCV concept, which is also a hydrogen power machine as well. Now, one of the most interesting things when it comes to hydrogen is very tough to kind of get your hands on, even though it's one of the most plentiful resources on the planet. But it's also very difficult to transport. It's tough because it has to be held under pressure and things like this. And probably one of the most interesting things is there's several little hydrogen-powered vehicles that you can actually own right now. And the hydrogen fuel is always free. Well, the folks over at Autoline.tv gave a little insight on why it's always for free. And it's for this fact, and this fact only, is actually when you're pumping this in your vehicle, there's no way that the pump actually can measure the amount of volume of hydrogen that's going into the vehicle. So, you also got this particular situation where they can't know exactly how much to charge you. Well, that apparently is getting very, very close to being fixed, and they'll be able to do that very soon. But whether a hydrogen-powered vehicle will ever become a mass-market vehicle still remains to be seen. Next up on the list, we showed off the rumored look of what this vehicle is. Hendrik Fisker and Gallopin Autosports actually put together this machine. It was the Rocket concept. Remember when I said it looked a little Mustang-ish? Well, guess what? That's because basically it is a Mustang. At least some of it is. At least as far as the bodywork is concerned, only the doors and the roof are still steel. The rest of the machine is done in carbon fiber, and apparently has lost a boatload of weight in this particular machine. And not only have they done that, a lot of suspension work's been gone on, massive Brembo brakes, and these huge 21-inch wheels on all four corners. And then the V8's been pumped up as well, even though they won't say exactly what they've done to it. But they're claiming that this vehicle, obviously being called the Rocket 725R, is going to have 725 brake horsepower. And the folks over at Hendrik Fisker and Gallopin Autosports, the funny thing is I knew who Hendrik Fisker was, and I thought I knew what Gallopin Autosports, and then it dawned on me. Remember the MTV show Pimp My Ride? Yeah, it's those folks. Those are the guys that are actually building this machine. Now, as far as the machine's concerned, they're actually already talking about selling these things. $100,000, which sounds like a massive amount, but they didn't say whether you were going to have to kick in your very own brand new Mustang to actually get this build off the ground. If they're going to include the Mustang in the price of that, this thing is an absolute steal. So we'll have to wait and see what comes of this thing in the future. But they're talking about building a handful of these things, maybe around 20 or 30. No, nothing really official as of yet, but maybe we'll know something very soon. And actually, when I first saw this machine, I thought, oh, goodness gracious, this thing is awful looking. But when I put it up on the Facebook page, everybody seemed to love it, so I guess I'll love it too. Next up on the list, well, you may know SpongeBob SquarePants. Well, the folks over at Toyota put together a Sienna minivan in SpongeBob SquarePants. Well, in this getup. Now, this is all to launch the brand new movie that's going to be coming out in the first part of 2015, which is called A Sponge Out of Water. Now, the interesting thing to me about this vehicle is being a little bit whimsical and whatnot, showing off at the LA Motor Show. Like I said, this vehicle will be going all over the country to promote the movie. The interesting thing to me, and the only reason why I'm talking about it, is check out this steering wheel. Yes, obviously this would never pass DOT inspection, but I just think it is cool as heck. So, pretty neat piece of kit from the folks over at Toyota and the group that is making the brand new SpongeBob film. Last up on the list, well, you've heard of the Guinness Book of World Records, and there's always some sort of weirdo record like for the fastest 100-meter dash on all fours, or the most bench presses underwater, and the most times to pierce four coconuts, quickest time to pierce 4 coconuts with just your finger. Yeah, a bunch of stupidity like that. Well, this one was actually somewhat interesting. This happened over in China. One of the drift champions over there in a little Mini Cooper-esque actually spun it, handbraked it, in between another pair of Mini Coopers. And you're not going to believe the amount of gap he had on either side of this. 8 centimeters total. Just a touch over 3 inches. That's this far. It's nothing when it comes to this. Very impressive video to watch. It almost looks fake. And I've got it up on the Facebook page as we speak if you want to check it out over there. If you can't watch it over there, just check it out on the old YouTubes. It's pretty doggone impressive. Very neat little piece of kit and a brand new record. 8 centimeters. Impressive. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. And also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.